Hey yo, this is Towie for a tutorial on how to reload the different weapons in Gun Raiders. So when it comes to reloading, there are different groups of people with similar behavior, and so I'm going to start with the easiest group, which includes dual pistols, dual Uzis, Revolver and Crossbow. And for this group of weapons, all you have to do to reload is to just point down and you're good. You may be wondering what happens if I'm already pointing down. Like for instance, I'm flying, I'm shooting down and I need to reload. Then you can go back up and down again and you're good. It may be also possible to reload by going further down, but I find it kind of unreliable. As you can see, it doesn't always work, so I prefer using a simple method of up and down. Alright, the next group of weapon is the one where you have clips separate from the weapon, so it includes the rifle, the sniper rifle, the SMG, the rocket launcher, and the grenade launcher. For this group of weapons, what you're going to do is to press A on your right controller and the clip will drop, and then on your left side you can grab a new one and insert it in the weapon. And that's all. It's simple, but in a real match, like when a lot of players are shooting at you or you're chasing someone or I don't know, it's a little bit more difficult to get the movements. So if you're struggling, just keep trying and you get used to it. One tip that I can give is what I do is to tilt the weapon a little bit this way, so that and put it closer to my waist, so that I have less movement to do, and I cannot reload in kind of dancing movement, you know, like chook, chook. Alright, next weapon, the SMG. This time the clip is at the top, so I tilt it the other direction, like this. And another advice I can give you for the SMG is to use a skin with a different color for the clip and the weapon, with a strong contrast between the two colors, so that when in the middle of a match you miss reloading, like you see quickly that it's not the right color, so you see quicker that you miss reloading. Next weapon, well, the sniper rifle is pretty much the same as the rifle, nothing more to say. For the grenade launcher, this time the clip is in the middle, and that's all I have to say. For the rocket launcher, the rocket, you put it on the top, on the tip, I don't know how you want to call it. So to reload faster, I suggest like putting the tip of the weapon close to your waist, to the new rocket, so that you can kind of spam like that. Anyway, the next weapon I want to mention, the shotgun. Everyone is wondering how to reload the shotgun when they start. You need to use both hands. So you're gonna take your second hand and grab the barrel, the pump, I don't know how you call it. Can you just pretend I can speak English for a second? And then you press the trigger and you see that my hand is physically in the game, like grabbing it. You're gonna pull towards you and then back into position. You gotta do the two movements. Like you see there's a number here. They're only going back to 4 when I'm putting it back into position. There are two things to help you, two indicators to help you to reload. The first one, you cannot see or hear it in the video, but my controllers are vibrating a bit when I'm pulling and then when I'm putting it back into position. And the second one, let me change the settings, is it's doing a little click, 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 click. So when you're in the middle of a match, you can try to hear that you correctly get 2 clicks. Like I also know that people who are very good with the shotgun, they use different methods to reload that can be more reliable or faster, or I don't know. So I'm gonna give them, but I suggest just select one of these methods and stick to them so that you get used to it, you get muscle memory and you're better at it, and then you choose which one you prefer. The first one is, instead of just pushing and putting, you're gonna let your high slide into infinity, like you don't see it, but I'm doing this, like chuk chuk, and pretty much chuk chuk, chuk chuk, so that it's easier to get the pump back into the high position. The second method that some people use is to, instead of using one hand to pull and push, to pull with the first hand and then to pull with the second hand. And you see it's reloaded as well. So it's kind of like in a single movement. Alright, that's it for the shotgun. The next weapon I want to mention is the one that a lot of people wonder how to reload. The fusion rifle, the minigun, and also the bow as well. Well, simple for these weapons, you cannot reload them. Well, technically you just don't need to reload them, but like for the rifle or other weapon with a limited amount of ammo, when you run out, you run out. And there is no way to like reload the weapon. However, every time you kill an enemy, you get a little bit of ammo, so if you want to keep killing with that weapon, you gotta just keep killing and killing and killing, and you get back ammo. And when you run out, there is no way to reload it. And all you have to do, all you can do, is to change your weapon until you die. Oh, also, I want to mention that you have to kill with this weapon to get ammo. So if you run out and hope to get ammo by switching weapon and killing people with another weapon, it's not gonna work. Same if you're using your sidearm. For instance, if you're using the rifle revolver combo, if you kill someone with a revolver, you're not getting a new clip, which can be a bit annoying. Anyway, the next weapon, well, technically not a weapon, but the grapple, well, it's kinda obvious, like you see that it's reloading slowly, and all you have to do is to wait to get new ammo. Alright, last weapon I can mention. Well, I just want to say a word about the gauntlets before, because you see there are numbers, you may be wondering what they are. It's for flings, and you may be wondering, but Toei, what are flings? Well, first, if you don't know, for most weapons, not all of them, but most of them, you have an alt mode that you can get by pressing B. So you usually see a small change in the indicator when you're pressing the button. And for the gauntlets, what happens is they get smaller, and if you pull the trigger while propelling yourself, like a movement of pushing yourself in the air and pressing the trigger, you're gonna fling. And when I do it, it chooses one fling, and you see the number change. And so similarly, like as for other ammo, you need to kill people with the gauntlets to get new flings. Alright, I think I'm done. The other weapons don't need reloading. Like if you're wondering how to reload the knife, like I don't know what to tell you, like what's your problem? Put it in rice, I don't know. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and bye!